Before living in Japan, I never really thought twice about strawberries. Here, though, they're treated like a luxury. And this experience made that very clear.
This isn't a tourist attraction or some kind of theme park. It's just a local strawberry farm. But almost everything about it felt intentional. When we pulled in, parking was simple and quiet. Right next to the farm was a small structure where they sell fresh strawberries and strawberry juice. You could tell immediately that a lot of pride goes into what they grow here. We let them know we were there to pick strawberries. And that's when things got interesting. Instead of paying a person, we were guided to a vending machine, which at this point feels like the most Japanese solution possible. We bought an empty cup with a lid. Inside was a small packet of condensed milk or chocolate syrup, you get to choose, and a tiny tool used to cut the strawberry stems. Simple, efficient, very on purpose. From there, we were led into the greenhouse. First, lockers to store our belongings, a coat rack to hang jackets. It was really warm inside, really bright, and immediately calm. But honestly, it felt peaceful. Before we could start picking, everything was explained: how to properly pick the strawberries, which areas we were allowed to harvest from, and one rule stood out right away: no eating inside the greenhouse, which was harder than it sounds. Each row inside has a different type of strawberry, different flavors, different textures, different characteristics. We were shown exactly which rows we could pick from and what made each one unique. It felt less like grabbing fruit and more like choosing carefully. Once we started picking, it became this quiet little hunt, looking for the right color, the right shape, trying to find the perfect one. Once you start, you get weirdly invested. At one point, I stopped picking completely. I was just watching the bees move from plant to plant, pollinating the flowers. Everything felt slow, calm, and relaxing. Once our cup was full, we headed back to the structure. We grabbed a fresh strawberry juice and finally got to taste what we picked. Strawberry season here runs from about December through April, sometimes May, depending on the weather. And after this, it makes sense why they treated with so much care. Strawberries in Japan aren't casual, they're grown with pride, handled with respect, and experienced slowly. And honestly, that's what made this so much more enjoyable than I expected. If you're curious what everyday life in Japan actually feels like, I'm sharing it as I live it. So subscribe for more.